Hey everybody, and welcome to Fitness Evaluation and Exercise Prescription. My name is Mary Beth Yarbrough, and you guys will see some introductions from me, and obviously we're going to get to me next week on Tuesday, but I kind of wanted to just send out a little video and go over some expectations for this course. As you guys know, we're right in the middle of a pandemic, and so the way that we are doing classes this semester is going to be a little bit different, and so I kind of want to give you guys a heads up about that. And then I also just want to remind you guys, one, pick out your groups this week. This will make a little more sense in just a minute here. And then also, I need you guys to go ahead and start purchasing your books. I will have the course syllabus and the lab kit that you're going to need to purchase. So again, one of the things that is major changer this semester for us is COVID. And so all of the classrooms on campus have new COVID caps. And what this means for instructors is that most of our classes are too big to accommodate all of our students and safely socially distance. Well, we have about, I think I have 26 of you in a class right now. And so we are going to have to be divided into two groups. I think my COVID cap for my classroom is 14. So that means that Group A will come on Tuesday and Group B will come on Thursday. Now I have set up these groups in Folio. What you need to do is log onto your Folio, go to the communication drop-down box, hit groups. It will allow you to then auto-register for one of the groups. Now, what I typically see happen is everybody signs up for Thursday. They're like, oh, I don't want to come to class until Thursday, so Group B will fill up quicker than Group A, which means that if Group B is full with half of the students, then you cannot register for it and you'll just get dumped into Group A. You still have to sign up for it, but you will that'll be your only option. So Group A will come every Tuesday for the entire class meeting, and then Group B will be Zooming in. And then on Thursday, Group B will come class face-to-face, and Group A will Zoom in. And then on Fridays for lab, Group A will come for the first 15 minutes. Group B will come for the second 15 minutes. I know this is confusing, and I can probably tell you 100% that you guys are doing this for all of your classes, if not most of them. If you have a hard time keeping your schedule together and figuring out where the heck you're supposed to be at any given time, what I would recommend is that you put all of this stuff in your Google Calendar. I am happy to do a little Google Calendar tutorial if you guys need me to. You can set it up on your desktop and then link it to your cell phone. I would also make sure that you guys have your email always attached to your cell phone. I know you guys always have your smartphones with you. It will help me communicate with you. As we kind of start to meet next week too, one thing I always tell my students to do is, hey, somebody start a group me. I'm happy to get in on that group too if you guys want. And then if you guys have questions, that's a really quick and easy way for me to respond to all of you guys. You will have my cell phone number also. I'm pretty comfortable giving that out. My only rule with giving out my cell phone number is don't call me after 5 p.m. and don't call me on the weekends or text me on the weekends or nights. That's my time with my kids, and I like to spend that time with them. So I will give that information out later. You guys can expect to start seeing some stuff pop up about the course as I kind of copy some information over. We have made some big changes to this class. So big in the sense that we really want to prepare you guys professionally to be able to sit for some certifications through the American College of Sports Medicine. So our hope is that you guys that are wanting to go on, or maybe even take some time off potentially, because I know you guys get a little burned out on school, take some time off, get a certification, work in cardiac rehab, or work in a hospital. More and more hospitals are hiring certified exercise physiologists. So our goal with this class, with this course, is to set you up to sit for the American College of Sports Medicine Certified Exercise Physiology exam. You do have to have a bachelor's degree in order to sit for the exam, and you guys would be able to take it after you graduate. So we're hoping that that kind of helps set you guys up and prepare. You might also be looking at the textbook and say, oh my gosh, 3 textbooks? That's crazy. I will tell you though, they're really cheap. If you actually you can get all 3 of them on Amazon for like 80 bucks. If you get used copies, they're even cheaper. I would not recommend renting them only because these are really, really good textbooks. And any of you who are going on to a graduate program, whether it's physical therapy, occupational therapy, PA school, exercise science or a sport conditioning program, anything like that. These are great books to have just as a resource. I'll tell you, I use a lot of my books from undergrad all the time as an instructor. I use them to refer to for images, and I've used them for citing different references in papers. So they are good books. This is one of them. It's probably the cheapest, and I know you can get a used copy. It is paperback, and I'll tell you, this is a beast of a book, but it's got some really good information. It also does a really good job of recapping biomechanics, ex-phys, and structural kinesiology. The other one that we'll be using mostly is this one. This is the Resources for the Exercise Physiologist. This is a great book. We will be kind of directly taking a lot of our stuff from that book, and you guys will find that that's a really beneficial book. The other one is the Guidelines for Exercise Prescription or Testing and Prescription. All three of these books are really good. They're all through the American College of Sports Medicine, so they're in alignment with all of the guidelines that they have. But each one offers a little bit of different information. And again, you guys can get these for really cheap. The other thing that we're doing a little differently this semester is the labs. So normally you guys go over to the rack and you do fitness assessments on different clients, and it really gives you that hands-on experience. We cannot do that this semester due to COVID. And so Dr. Melton, Miss Coleman, and I are all teaching these sections. And what we've done is we divided you guys into 3 smaller classes so that we can work with you more hands-on in the class and the lab. So a lot of your classroom time is going to be spent us standing up, moving around, walking through stuff, kind of getting used to doing things that you would do in the lab normally. And then your online stuff is going to have to be you kind of covering the material. I will tell you, if you don't buy these books, you will not be successful in this class. You have got to read. And you guys will see when you start going through the course guidelines that there is going to be a reading list that you need to go through and read. You need to print off the PowerPoints. You need to print off all of your lab sheets, and you need to bring them to class. We will make all of this stuff available so you can just print it off on the first day, throw it in a binder, and you have it every day. Because if you don't have this stuff in class and we're doing it in class, you're going to get points deducted for participation. So make sure you bring everything to class with you. We are trying to provide you guys with as many videos and tutorials and things like that so we can help you and give you guys just kind of different perspectives of from different exercise physiologists or people that work in the industry. I mentioned Dr. Melton and Miss Coleman. So the 3 of us are colleagues, and we are working really, really closely together, and we have been busting our tail this summer trying to get this class ready, and we're really excited to hopefully get some of you to sit for this exam and pass it. And we think that it'll better prepare you guys. And it's also kind of a capstone class, and so the idea is that you're taking all the stuff that you've learned throughout your exercise science degree, and you're really applying it in this class, and you're learning how to use it and seeing how it kind of all comes together as a unit. What else? Okay, the other thing I want to be really transparent and honest with you guys about is I have accommodations. I feel like I know a lot of you already, and so some of you know me. I had a couple years ago an emergency thyroidectomy, and because I have that, it can sometimes make me immune suppressed. And my endocrinologist was like, I really think it's smarter for you to work remotely. So I went through human resources at Georgia Southern, and I have received accommodations. Now, what does this mean for you guys as students? Well, it means that you're still meeting face-to-face, and that a graduate student will come in, and you guys will be in there with Bree Simmons, who you'll see a lot of. And then I want to say it's Sarah Krevling is helping me with my other class. I think she's doing the Tuesday class, and then Bree's doing the Thursday class. So you'll see their faces. They were both former undergrads in our program. I know them really well. They're very reliable. They will basically come in and kind of manage the classroom space and start a Zoom call, and I will Zoom in. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not excited about this. It is less than ideal. I love interacting with my students. I love doing stuff face-to-face, but I don't think it's smart for me to do that. In addition to myself being immunocompromised, my husband is. He has heart disease, and so even though we're really healthy and we try to take care of ourselves, sometimes you just have these things that happen to you, and these are the cards you're dealt. And I can tell you, I don't particularly want COVID, nor do I want my husband to get it, nor do I want to lose a spouse. So we are trying to play it safe. And I hope you guys are too, and I hope that you understand. If you want me to be really honest, I think there's a good possibility that somewhere throughout the semester we might be online anyway. So I'm going to tell you, we have worked really hard to make this class very easily move to online. So you'll see that everything is posted on Folio and you guys have access to everything. If we move online, it is so important, and even if we aren't online, it is so important that you guys communicate with me regularly. So that's why I said, let's start a GroupMe. You guys can use the discussions that I will have posted on Folio. I have a section for questions for the professor. You guys can always throw in a question there. I try to check it like once a day just to see if anybody has questions. Also, if you have a question, probably somebody else does. So that's why it's good to ask it in those forums, because usually if one person sees it, they're like, oh yeah, I had the same question. I can just kind of clarify it there. So GroupMe, questions for the professor. You can also email me. I am going to give you guys my phone number. I respond to texts just faster. And I feel like since COVID happened, we get so many emails every day that if I spent 2 or 3 hours a day, I could never respond to all the emails that I get. So sometimes it's faster to do that. The other thing I want to make sure that you guys are doing is being smart and being safe. You are required to wear your masks during all of our lab meetings and all of our classroom meetings. If you're in any building on campus, you are required to wear your mask. This is not ideal, and it sucks. And I know this is just the world we live in. My 3 and my 5-year-old are wearing a mask all day to school, and so if they can do it, I think we can do it too, and we can handle it, and we'll get through it together. Other expectations for the class. I am going to have you guys buy some lab equipment. So I kind of mentioned this at the beginning of this video. Why am I having you do this? Well, I can't have you guys sharing equipment in the lab because it's not safe and it's not smart. And it's going to mean that we're touching each other, and we're already going to be having to do some of that. And we are taking as many precautions as we can for this. So some of the stuff that we are going to have you guys buy is a goniometer, a blood pressure cuff and stethoscope. If you already have one, great. If you don't, you're going to need to buy one. You're going to need to buy an electronic hand dynamometer, and I'll put all this stuff on your syllabus, and I have links to Amazon so you guys can purchase this stuff. You do not have to purchase the ones that I sent you links to. You can find cheaper ones. You can find more expensive ones. It's just so you guys can see what it is, okay? You need a soft measuring tape. A lot of students have one of these laying around. You can also go to like a sewing shop or a grocery store, honestly, and just get one of these. It's just a cloth measuring tape. And like I said, they come in a lot of those little sewing kits. Nothing fancy. I think you can literally get them for like $1 in some places, maybe 2 or 3 at the most, unless you buy like a super fancy one that's spring loaded, and then you might be paying like 30 or 40 bucks for one. But again, you don't need anything fancy. The other thing is skin fold calipers. Now, the ones we typically use in the lab are very expensive. They're calibrated. They're really high quality. I am not going to ask that you guys get those. My point in having you guys get those is so that you can practice doing this at home with a roommate or somebody that you are not socially distancing from, and you can practice it and you can get good. It's more about the technique of doing it than the equipment. Is the equipment important if you're doing research? Absolutely, but you guys aren't doing research with this. It's really just so you can understand, how do I use this and how is it a good tool for body composition? So just to recap, skin fold calipers, goniometer, cloth measuring tape, blood pressure cuff and stethoscope. They sell these as kits. And then goniometer, or hand dynamometer. So there's like 6 things. I will also tell you, I will send you links to these. You can buy any brand that you want as long as you have it to do your own labs. And you can get them on Amazon, you can get them on eBay, you can piece together what you have and what you don't have and then buy what you need. You can also go to the bookstore and buy them a la carte. So if you already have a blood pressure cuff and stethoscope, but you need the other things, you can get them at the bookstore and charge them to your financial aid. So they are available in multiple ways. You will need these starting in the first week. And so just make sure you have this. And this is, again, something that our students, you guys can use this as like as a toolbox. You know, you have this stuff. My students this summer bought this for my online class. I taught an online version of this class this summer, and they were all like, you know what? It was an extra expense, but it actually was awesome to be able to practice doing blood pressure on my family or my friends. And I was doing body comp on everybody, and people were getting excited, and I was doing fitness assessments on different friends and families. And so it is a cool way for you to be able to kind of practice that equipment and use it on your own. Whereas when you you don't have your own equipment, the only time you really get to do it is when you're in the lab. So I think that this will really be a good opportunity for you guys to kind of invest in some books that are really good, and then also some equipment that you need for your own, like just your toolbox. So all in all, for the 3 textbooks, if you buy all 3 textbooks brand new, and then you use the links that I got you guys, you're probably going to be out about $150, $160, give or take some change on all this stuff. But again, you can buy a lot of these books used, and they are really cheap. So I hope that that helps. And please just keep posted. Keep your folio on. If I was you, I would link your folio email and your student email together. I always email you guys through your student emails, just FYI. And then if one person wants to start a GroupMe, let's do it. I'm cool with that. And if you guys don't want me on there, that's fine too. If you do, then add me on there and we can use it as a way to communicate. I am looking forward to seeing you guys. And again, I'm sorry that this is the way the delivery of the class is going. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. And we are going to get through it. And I promise that we're going to have a good time in this class. It's my favorite class to teach. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.